Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back again with another YouTube video. So we have a pretty massive update. Basically, the EDP445 subreddit has been reinstated after about a month and a half of it being taken down. And the reason why it was taken down was, according to Reddit, is it was being unmoderated. So I guess there's some mods on there now, and I guess it's up and running again. And this is obviously good news because I think overall it is affecting EDP, and especially given the fact that EDP has created a new Twitter, which I talked about. I think this is a perfect timing for the Reddit to be reinstated because it is a bunch of people who absolutely despise EDP, and they obviously show their hatred. And this is good because every time he's going to tweet, there's going to be someone talking about it on the Reddit, and EDP absolutely hates the Reddit. And I saw a lot of people very confused last time when it did get taken down. They assumed this Reddit was for people who enjoy EDP or support EDP, since it is like a Reddit for a quote-unquote content creator. But no, I can safely say, you guys, this Reddit is literally meant to just destroy EDP in every facet of his life. Now, that being said, we are going to celebrate by actually looking at some of the top posts that has ever been on the Reddit. And obviously, what's going to be in the #1 spot is the video of the guy confronting EDP at the Walmart. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I am going to play it here.
That's me, man. What's up, bro?
Look at this nasty ass.
Don't get your fucking ass beat, bro.
Nigga, beat it, nigga. I'll beat your motherfucking ass in this store right now, you nasty ass child predator motherfucker. Yeah, you. Look at you, you fuck.
What's up, man?
I ain't go touch you. Nasty.
So yeah, obviously that does deserve #1. I think that has been the biggest thing to kind of come out of this entire situation, aside from the Kayla Hoskins court case and stuff like that. This obviously has been the most satisfying thing, seeing him being confronted like that, especially since EDP talks so much shit online about how no one confronts him in person and how everyone talks behind a screen, and then we see him walling away as you say, "You're gonna get your fucking ass beat, bro." It just deserves #1. All right, like this 100% deserves #1. Now, another one that's up there is all jokes aside, fuck this ped, and then it shows kid and then knee failure. And I think this actually is a very interesting Reddit post, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a meme. But I think it is really interesting because as much as we do joke about EDP and make content about him, at the end of the day, he is a pedophile and he does cause real life harm to children. So as fun as it is to make content and make fun of him, at the end of the day, I think a lot of us will just be happy if he just gets arrested at this point. Like, even the subreddit people who are dedicated to just shit talking EDP, I think at the end of the day, all our goal is to just get him arrested. So even though we do make fun of him every once in a while, and like a video like this where it's kind of purely just talking about, you know, some of the criticisms that people have towards EDP, at the end of the day, I do just want him arrested. And that goes to show in this post too. I think a lot of people do agree with that. So I have another post saying, YouTube deadass defending pedophiles. You mean to tell me that the man with YouTube, a giant social media platform, is taking down public information and awareness of a known dangerous pedophile, along with keeping other known pedophiles like Line Maker and MF Mini Lad channels up? What the fuck, Neil Moen? And this was posted about 2 months ago. So this was around the time when Gideon was teasing the EDP setup video, or the EDP sting video, and a lot of content creators were getting their videos taken down. And I do agree. I think it is kind of ridiculous how YouTube will go after content creators talking about predators, yet they don't do any effort on actually trying to get rid of them on the platform. I have seen YouTube step in once in a while to get rid of people like this, but it seems like they're completely against anyone talking about this topic. But it's so confusing because they don't explicitly tell content creators that, like, hey, you can't talk about this topic. They're just kind of like, yeah, actually, we're just going to slap you with a bullying and harassment. And that just looks extremely bad on YouTube's part, because you're hitting people who are going after pedophiles with bullying and harassment strikes. It just makes it look like you're defending predators, and it definitely does come off that way. So obviously a lot of people agreed with this, and it was a very highly debated topic when it came out. And I think I even put my 2 cents in when during the whole entire situation. So we have another post where it says, I know how to function without Wi-Fi, laugh my ass off. No, you fucking don't, dumbass. You're always crawling back to the internet like a roach on numerous social media platforms, constantly trying to regain your fame. You're all about the internet and social media. You spend enough time on there to get pissed off every 10 minutes because you hate seeing what other people say about you, even though you don't give a fuck. You're a keyboard warrior, though, through and through. Stop fucking lying about how your haters won't talk shit IRL, because we all know you're a pussy. Actually, stop fucking lying and being hypocritical in general, Bryant. Your shit is over. There's no point at all to continue, but I guess you're too much of a self-obsessed, disgusting piece of shit human being to even think beyond your vulgar thoughts. This is in reference when he was going on like this boomer rant on his website about how he's like, I grew up in a day and age where people could like live without the internet, which is again another hypocritical thing. Like this guy says in this post is he is constantly online. He constantly needs to be online. He constantly tries to regain his fame. He is chronically online. He looks at the Reddit every single day. He has to see what people are talking about him all the time. When I was like friends with him on Instagram for the interview and stuff like that, he was always online. I'm not even joking. He was always online when it came to Instagram, like 24/7. So yeah, I think it's extremely hypocritical for a guy to like boast about how he grew up in a day and age where there was no internet and he can live without the internet while he's clearly can't. You know what I mean? So we had another guy say you'll see more of EDP by paying for an actual interview from his broke ass. And then there's a meme that says, Skeeter, Jadion, Kayla, this isn't a cash grab, by the way. You can only see the video. EDP has a cameo in for $70 on our paywall. You know how this looks, right? So this is obviously in reference in the really terribly botched Sting video with Skeeter Jean and Gideon. I don't know why they put Kayla in there. Kayla really didn't have anything to do with the Sting. They only really used her evidence. She didn't get any money from the video. It wasn't her that planned for it to be behind a paywall, so it's kind of weird how they put Kayla in the same topic as Gideon Skeeter, because I think Gideon Skeeter definitely deserve criticism. I think it's kind of fucked up how they were saying how like this was going to be the biggest sting operation, this was going to blow up on the internet, and then Skeeter put it behind a fucking paywall and then claimed that he didn't, even though he clearly did. But it wasn't $70, it was actually $5, but he didn't make it very clear on what you have to pay in order to get the video. I think it's still really fucked up when these people put Sting videos behind paywalls. I think that is extremely inappropriate. So yeah, definitely Gideon and Skeeter Jean are massive clowns. I've said about this multiple times, and I think the Reddit agrees with this, and I feel like Reddit's really the only place that actually knows about this information, because it seems like Skeeter and Gideon have had a massive pass on the YouTube platform. So yeah, it's good to know that people are calling this out on the Reddit, but I don't believe Kayla was actually involved in any financial gain in this entire Sting video. So we have another one where the guy says pedo445 gets mad at me, and then the post shows that the Heisenberg guy says, you're a fan of cupcakes, quoting EDP's new Twitter, and then EDP said, S the F up, N-word. At least I ain't hiding behind a Breaking Bad profile pic. And then he said the N-word. I'm not a fat, ugly pedophile like you, so why don't you get your fat ass into a prison? So yeah, it's good to know that people are memeing on him on Twitter. And of course, because EDP, again, is a massive hypocrite and a massive man-child, he has to respond to people on Twitter. It's hilarious. It's like, dude, just if you don't like what they're saying, just block them. He does do that, but he needs to get into his 2 cents first. And it's like, dude, no matter what, you're going to lose an argument because of who you are. And then we had another post where it says, this is EDP's McDonald's order, and it's like $703. I just thought that was fucking hilarious. We got a post here from Tall Widow. It says, since not one person has asked this, if EDP was set up and the shit was staged, who made up the cupcake line? Alex put that in the script. No cupcakes in any of the chat logs. It wasn't a setup, and it wasn't staged. Getting exposed for being a pedo isn't getting set up. Set up means someone wrongs you. I think this post is kind of weird because I personally did ask him about the cupcake stuff, because if you guys don't know, EDP claims that the Chet Goldstein video of him being confronted about the 13-year-old bait girl, he claims that he didn't know about anything. It was a setup. He was there for an interview. It was all a bunch of BS. But if you look at the chat logs, him and Sophia talk about how he's going to be there to pick up a cupcake as a way for him to like kind of cop out of actually being there to meet up with a 13-year-old girl. So when he goes there, he asked, I came here to pick up a cupcake. So if the logs were fake, how did he know about the cupcake thing? How did he know that that was kind of going to be the default thing he should talk about? And I did ask him about that in my interview, and he didn't know what to say about it. Well, I brought it up and stuff. But, you mentioned as soon as you get there, you're coming to pick up a cupcake. And the argument I'm seeing online right now and in forums and stuff is people saying, how are the logs fake then if you knew about the cupcake? That kind of stuff.
You know what's funny about the entire cupcake thing, dude? Is I remember I made a video on TikTok about the entire cupcake.
He's like, oh, did I do that? Did I? So yeah, I have confronted him about it, and yes, it just adds to the fact that he is a liar, and we all know he's a predator, and he's just talking a bunch of bullshit. So this one, is kind of a big one. So we have someone saying this dude's be paying EDP's bail. So he says, show me the case file, give me a case number, the responding officer, their names and badge, number and county they're serving. Show me proof that EDP is being investigated by police, or better yet, show me public access records. Has he been arrested for trying to solicit a minor child? Has he been brought up on a judge and found guilty? As far as that, the best thing is to say is no, he has not been charged. So I say until bro is found guilty, this EDP being a pedo BS needs to end. I'm not interested in ruining lives like the rest of you. You think you're saving one or saving many, but you aren't. Not one time have these victims presented a case file. Show me a case file and I'll be happy to listen to all you. Until then, y'all are just a bunch of losers. Typically, I would agree with a comment like this. I think we should always go into a situation with innocent until proven guilty. Has EDP actually been arrested on grounds of soliciting to a minor? No, but we all are not stupid. We all know literally there's proof out there that he has groomed multiple minors. Not only that, Kayla Hoskins has pressed charges. She has a case. She has a file number. Now it's up to her if she wants to make it public or not. But yes, EDP is a massive pedophile. This isn't a case of some YouTuber gets accused of it with barely any evidence. He literally showed up at a place to meet up with a 13-year-old girl. They had receipts. They had proof. The police didn't pursue it for whatever reasons, because Chet Goldstein handled the evidence really shittily, and it was a case of, I think, like entrapment or whatever. But that doesn't change the fact that EDP still thought he was meeting up with a 13-year-old girl. This is all proven. You know what I mean? This isn't a case of wait till there's more evidence or wait till both sides are heard. He even made a fucking apology, which he backtracked on. You know what I mean? You just seem like you're an EDP defender if you're going to say shit like that. We have another post here saying the average EDP445 fan can't believe EDP still has fans and people defending him. A cult of pedophiles follow him that are known. That's who they are. Get a load of this guy admitting he thinks it's okay to text little girls justifying pedophilia, and he admitted in another comment that he's a Nazi sympathizer. And then the post is, I don't even know what you are responding to. You're literally just fantasizing out loud at this point, lol. Is it illegal to send a text to a little girl? The answer, of course, is no. It's only illegal if you're doing it for illicit, i.e. illegal purposes. And then Tall Widow says, oh, so wait, you're texting little girls before since you're saying it's legal? You got to stop and think, why is someone who isn't actually involved with that child texting a child? I think that's kind of where we got to look at this from. It's like if you got a daughter and you're her father and you guys text each other, that's fine. But if you're like some grown man on the internet and you're talking to random kids online and Snapchatting them and stuff, then yeah, that is fucking weird. And I'm pretty sure it is kind of illegal in certain aspects, because I think that usually becomes a case of grooming, because there's clearly a power imbalance there. You're an adult, you're texting a child. I think that's weird. You know what I mean? I think that is extremely weird. So yes, it is really fucking weird for you to be texting a child. And again, you gotta think, why is this person texting a child? Is it to become friends with the child? Probably not. So I'm pretty sure that's most of the big things that were said here, and I just thought it was a good video just to go back and talk and kind of, you know what I mean, reminisce on some of the posts on the EDP subreddit since it is back. But anyways, if you guys like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Counting sheep, but there's one I always miss.